Welcome along. I'm calling this once a month get together Life Transformation Now Club, and really just wanting to, it doesn't matter if you're part of Life Transformation Now or not. This is definitely about conversations of self-awareness. And as I said on the webinar link, supporting your awareness journey. So the 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 context for me is I can come along to an event, and I will tell you a bit of a story about what's happening in my life with who I'm resonating with, and I can start practicing, different mind conversations, or trying to clear my mind as well, looking at focus and different things, and listening to my heart and listening to my vibration and my feelings. But then, life takes over again. So some little curveball will get thrown my way, and I have to decide how I'm going to react to it. But for me, the practice is more about becoming the observer of what it is that I feel, what it is, how it is that I react, what judgments I make. And that's part and parcel of the process of becoming more aware of yourself and your own infinite power. And really, it starts for me with, I guess, the support, the people who are on a similar path, because we're not all on the same path. We're all here to experience our own movie as such, what it is that we roll out in our life. But when you can share events and maybe mastermind or analyze without analyzing too much. I mean, it's not really about going over absolutely every aspect of your life, but just starting to become more aware of how it is that you're feeling about things, and what it is that you can observe about yourself. So for me, it all started probably now about 5 years ago, and I will forever be grateful for network marketing coming into my life, because it started me on the personal development path. The start of it all really was watching the movie The Secret. We got a hold of that about a year before it actually became available in Australia. So it was before it even became big in the States, was when I first watched the movie The Secret. And the relationship was because of Bob Proctor. He was doing work with our company. His wife was actually formerly one of the distributors for the company that I was involved with, and it all kind of started from there. This success mindset and law of attraction, and everything started from there. But it was about a year later, was actually one of our talked a lot about the difference between inspiration and motivation, and how we can go to some of our events sometimes and feel all motivated and charged up, and then we walk out and we feel a little bit like we've got a hangover for the next week, where things all come back down into normal. And he was really on a big, strong mission to try and change that type of experience into being more about inspiration, so that we could bring it right through to our building our businesses and recruiting and prospecting, and attaching our truth to, the vision of what we wanted, not only for ourselves but for others, and sharing that story. So I've been on this path for um, probably not as long as other people, but for me it's been about 5 years. And I had a real wake up call in May 2009, where as much as I was interested in personal development and loved any kind of philosophy, talking about success mindset and changing the way you think, and uh, everything to do with that it was actually this gentleman here, Amir Zogi. He held a weekend event that was organized by a friend of mine up in Bundaberg, and it was only about 8 or 9 of us there, and it was called the Quest for Truth Experience. And the big aha that I experienced from that one weekend was the shift from personal development, having this focus, I guess, on a need to fix, change, or improve things in your life, to moving towards what some people call, or in particular Robert Scheinfeld calls, self self-realization or self-awareness. It's almost as if it's phase two. Phase one of becoming aware is what we've all got at our fingertips now. I mean, personal development is a massive, massive industry. NLP coaching is a massive, massive industry. We can go along to weekend events and different experiences and just have just more awakenings, more aha moments. But it's not really until, well, this is my belief anyway, this is from the studies that I'm undertaking, it's not really until we start to look within rather than looking without and use what's around us as a bit like a mirror. So if we see things in conversations or judge things in other people or our experiences, it's basically a direct reflection of what's actually going on inside of us. So the philosophy of oneness or philosophy of truth, whether it comes from Buddhist teachings, whether it comes from ancient wisdoms, it doesn't really matter where the teachings come from, because there's always a very similar underlying statement to be made, and that is that we are actually holding inside of us a massive amount of ability to do, be, have whatever we choose to experience. And that we are in fact connected, that everything that's going on outside of us is actually created from us. It is about the reality that we choose. So all of the different teachings that we'll talk about, change your mind, change your thoughts, change your world, everything, it's all just messages that are telling us the same thing, that our truth deep within us is that we are all one. We are part of the everything that this guy Amir Zogi talks about is the ocean. We perceive ourselves to be a drop from the ocean, which is this human body that we've chosen to house ourselves in for this experience. But that keeps us separate. And when we are experiencing this life of duality, where we are this human form in this body that is kind of running by our ego, that we're not ever really seeing our truth. We're not really seeing what is actually possible for us. So part of the experience of this life journey is literally to become aware and to start maybe our path home of realizing that we are the all-encompassing energy that the universe provides. So whether your terminology works with God, whether your terminology works with love, whether your terminology works with universe, it's a really different game to play when you're following this type of awareness path. So for me, it all happened with a weekend with this young man, Amir Zogi, whose name actually means Prince of Happiness. And it's not something he's chosen, it's what he was born with, and his greatest teacher is actually his mother. And if we were wanting to judge or label, you'd probably say that his mother is a bit of a gypsy. But this message that he gives is really quite unique, and you can sign up for his Truth of the Day messages, and a lot of you have probably seen, probably already on his list as well. But I love sharing the quotes that I receive from the Truth of the Day, because they're written to me from the universe, and when you receive it, they're written to you from the universe. But they're the most amazing, amazing little teachings every single day, or Monday to Friday at least. And I'm working with Amir now to help him get his whole 2-day program up online, so that you don't have to take a trip to Sydney or wait for him to travel to some other place in the world, that we will actually be able to experience this amazing 2 days where he references a lot of movies, different movies, like things like The Matrix or Bag of Ants. And when you actually see what is being portrayed in this movie, and you have this deeper understanding of the ego and duality and oneness and how we hold ourselves back and how we hold ourselves in chains and because we think we are separate. Uh, it's just amazing. There is no kind of like pillow bashing or, looking back in your past and saying things are wrong and giving yourself a hard time and then trying to, you know, implant new anchors and triggers into your head like they do with NLP that, you can snap out of this or snap out of that. And it's none of that. It's just this most beautiful experience where um, you can just have a really joyful 2 days. Um, Sometimes there are a few tears, but it's only from complete, aha and awakening awareness. But it's very much about love and realization, and it's just beautiful. So I've been on this type of education path. I jumped off it for a while because I got so involved in my business and in trying to force things and in trying to make things happen, which of course is almost opposite of being in the flow and doing what it is that you love to do and allowing the natural energies and people and circumstances to show up. So I got back onto it again in about January this year, working with Amir again, being a part of his Oneness Revolution community. And then when Jonathan decided to put out the Life Transformation Now um, membership, I guess you'd call it, which has a community involved with it. Some of us are a part of it and some aren't. And really, he's just delivering a video once a week. That's all it is. So it's just a new video once a week that is sharing Jonathan's understandings or Jonathan's truths. And while they might not be, everything that I am fully on board with 100%, the messaging is still the same. It is definitely about self-realization, self-awareness, and I decided to use this opportunity since he started Life Transformation Now to reach out to people who are involved in the community and say, well, let's get together once a month and just talk about some of our experiences and see if we can actually, as a collective consciousness, come up with some answers that, maybe the questions that are bugging you, we may just be the mirror or the reflection to you for what it is that you need to have an aha moment or an awakening about. So I hope that makes sense. You can visit the Oneness Revolution YouTube. We've started putting some of Amir's videos up. I'll just go to his channel here. They're just little clippets from the 2-day weekend, and there's more coming. But these are just little short videos. So far, there's only been a few uploaded, and little sort of 5 or 3 to 5 minute videos. Or this one's 9 minutes, but some good little messagings in there. So well worthwhile visiting Amir's channel. He's just another person delivering a message that, whether it comes from teachings like Eckhart Tolle with The Power of Now, some more ancient teachings like Jonathan's really into shaman type teachings, going back to ancient wisdoms. Amir is based completely around love. He believes that the energy that connects us all is literally just that energy of love. That there's only two energies that actually drive us in life. One is fear and one is love. So well worthwhile checking that out. The other thing is Amir's sister. Again, somebody has called her a bit of a gypsy as well. She does intuitive readings, and while she says that because the context of this family is the living in the now, she will say, I will never predict. It's impossible to predict anything because we each create our own story. We each create our own experiences. Her horoscopes kind of combine Western type of philosophies with the horoscopes as we know them, but the message that she delivers, and she works in the flow as well, it might not be every day, it might be every other day, but when you receive your little horoscopes, the message is like she's speaking directly to you. It's really quite freaky. So um, definitely worthwhile getting onto her list there as well. There's a sign up page there.